Hello, podcast.
Hello, hermanas.
And Santi.
Ooh, Santi.
Yeah.
What an honor to have him here for the very first podcast.
For the first podcast. When he's a year old, we're going to be in a whole production
mode.
Yeah, level up. Just wait.
I know we want to kind of have it be a conversation. I would like to stick to the 3 parts.
That's fine.
Which is the childhood, a little bit about fitness and soul and how that started going, entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And then motherhood, which, I mean, we can even start with motherhood if you want.
Exhibit A.
I mean, I think childhood and motherhood go hand in hand a little bit. So let's start with childhood, because when you were Santi's age...
I don't remember.
You don't remember anything?
I don't remember anything.
Where were you, though?
Unfortunately.
Were you in Chicago?
No, so I was born in California.
Oh, okay.
And I lived there until I was 10, but not just like in one spot,
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Is that also hard to remember?
I think that's why it's hard to remember, because we moved around so much that I just kind of get them all mixed up.
Yeah.
Like we went to, so every year was a new school. I never went
for
to
10 years.
Well, for not just 10 years, my whole life,
to 5th grade, right?
To 5th grade, and then we moved to Chicago, and it was the same thing. So every year was a new school, and then we moved like into the suburbs of Illinois, and same thing. And then we moved to Utah, and same thing. It was just new schools every time.
Why was that? Was that because your mom was like looking for work, or what was the?
She was looking for work. She was looking to get away from certain people.
Okay.
She was looking for a better opportunity for us. So that's how we left California.
Yeah.
Was A, she was breaking up with Monte's dad.
And
okay. B, she didn't want us to grow up in California because we lived in like Linwood, which is right next to Compton area. So she wanted to get us away from that environment. So she took us to Chicago.
Which was it better or worse?
It was worse. That's where I went bad. And so
you were like an angelito in California.
Yeah, but I was just a kid. I was a kid in California. And then we moved to Chicago, and I became a teenager, right? And those were my teenage years.
Yeah.
And and the Chicago kids are bad.
Really?
So they taught me, don't let yourself get taken over by teachers. You know, you can talk back to teachers. So a teacher would tell me like, you need to shut up, and I would be like, no, little rebel face.
Well, on top of everything else, you're in a new city, in a new town, and new school, and
new friends.
Yeah.
I just I never had like a best friend. It was always like me and Anthony.
Yeah.
Which
was it, a curse or a blessing? I guess. Because that's your sibling, so...
When we were younger, it was great. Honestly, the whole time, it was kind of a blessing. We did fight, like siblings, but it was a blessing because we were close enough where we were a grade apart. So for lunch, I'd always have someone to sit with.
Yeah.
After school, before school, I'd always have someone to walk into school with, to walk out of school with. So I never felt, lonely. We did go through the whole, you're a new kid at school this year, every year.
Every single year.
But
I can't even imagine.
But I think it helped,
What were some things that you learned from it, do you think?
Well, because of that, I have no problem being, introduced to new people. I have no problem, I might be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I'll still do it, right? I know I can power through, and I can do it just fine. I'm very open to people.
Very open to people.
And honestly, I love getting to know new people, and I can figure out pretty quickly if I'm going to like them or not.
Yeah.
But I always give everybody an opportunity.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a fair chance.
Okay, so this whole time, not only are you first generation Mexican and Salvadorian?
Yep.
Mexican, Salvadorian, American.
Yep.
You're also being raised by a single mom.
Yep.
Is it the whole time that she's basically by herself? I mean,
I don't remember. I don't have any memories of her and my dad being together.
Yeah.
Because, so she had me, and then 11 months later, she had Anthony.
Irish twins.
Yeah, so we're
God
super
bless
close.
your mom.
And then my dad was in jail, basically.
The whole time? Basically after Anthony?
Basically after Anthony. So, I don't have any memories with him. Okay, so my mom had my brother.
Yes.
After 11 months. And then I don't really know the specifics of what went down. I've tried asking
With your dad?
I get a different version from my dad. I get a different version from my mom. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. Like, he was just irresponsible at that point.
Yeah. If he wasn't irresponsible, you still think it wouldn't work?
It would have worked with him and my mom. Like, my grandma says it. My godparents say it. Everyone says that my dad was a really good guy. He was just reckless, you know.
Interesting. So do you know much about his upbringing?
Not a lot. I know that my grandma worked a lot. Like, my grandma from my dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
She worked a lot, so she left them unattended a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why they were just free to kind of do whatever they want. So it was just my dad and his brother. It was just two of them.
Like you and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't that crazy how the cycle,
it's just a cycle,
in a way,
yeah.
repeats itself?
And my mom didn't want that. I think my mom saw that my grandma worked a lot and left them unattended. Yeah. And that's why she was so strict with us. Was because she didn't want us to have all this freedom, because she didn't want us to... I don't know.
Be naughty.
I don't know, yeah. And, like, also same thing with her, right? Like, she grew up and my mommy Ali, like, also...
Strict.
Was strict. No, the opposite.
Oh.
My mommy Ali, after my mom's dad passed away, she just everyone just kind of started doing their own thing.
Free for all kind of thing.
And my mom was 15 at the time. I just had a lot of freedom, and she just... Took it. Yeah. So, she was crazy.
She met... Well, I guess this is Benny's story, but she met your dad when she was young?
They went to high school together.
Oh.
But they didn't get together until after high school.
Okay, but they knew each other in high school.
Yeah, they knew each other in high school.
Stephany, what a cycle, because you and Fernando met in high school.
Yeah.
And that's probably why she was like, don't you
she
dare
hated
date
Fernando.
Fernando.
Yeah.
I know what this looks like.
Yeah, she hated Fernando.
Oh, wow.
But I think seeing that me and Fernando worked out has also helped her heal in a little way.
Yeah. With those cycles, we kind of grew up really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the first generation kids grew up really fast. Even though your mom was really strict and tried to protect you guys, you were alone a lot, right?
So in California, we weren't alone as much because we would go with my tia Blanca, and my tia Blanca would take care of... We were kids, so she would take care of us while my mom was gone. When we went to Chicago, that's when we were... Like, I feel like that's where I had to grow up a lot. Mm-hmm. And, like, I had to really step up because that's when we had Monse and Carolyn and, like, they were little. Anthony. And my mom had to work. So, like, it was just a lot of responsibility, like, for me to get them ready for school, to drop, like, Carolyn off at daycare, Monse off at kindergarten. Like,
you became a mother.
Yeah, and it was a lot. Stuff. And, like, in Chicago, it was hard. There was no buses like there is here, right? So we had to walk to school, like, 20 freaking blocks.
No buses? Like, no. Public transportation? Or at least no means to it?
No, we lived supposedly close enough to where we could walk, but it was so far. And then
20 blocks.
Especially in the snow. No. It was just hard.
Okay, so then what did a day look like for you then? You would get up.
So
your mom, when would she leave?
Yeah, so my mom had 2 jobs when we lived in Chicago. Okay. So she would have, like, an overnight shift, and then she would leave really early for her, like, morning work too.
So she'd never sleep?
No, not really. But she was surviving on Rockstars and Monsters at the time.
Yeah.
It was just a lot. And that's why, like, I don't hold it against her.
Did you know at the time, like, could you see what your mom was doing and understand that she was doing it for you, for the family?
That's why I was never mad at her for not being there. I was never, like, I don't hold it against her because she was, like, doing her best for us, right?
Would she communicate that with you, do you think? Or do you remember, like, would she tell you those things, like, mom has to work?
She would in her way.
Which was
just, like, I know that she would get frustrated with us because we wouldn't clean the house sometimes, but we were kids too, right? Like, we didn't know we had to clean every day. We would just clean every once in a while if we knew she was going to be home.
Like those memes that are like,
¡Ahí viene! Anthony would be at the window and be like, "Oh my God, no saque la carne.
She's gonna beat her." Oh yeah, when you don't take out the meat. You don't take out the meat, and she was, she's exhausted from jobs. Yeah. She's trying to feed you guys.
And I get it. Like now as an adult now, I'd be pissed if I told Fernando to take that chicken and the chicken wasn't out. I get it. We went full circle on that.
Yeah.
But
you also think that's funny that you say that, because you're saying that with Fernando, who's a grown adult, who's your partner. And in a way, us kids kind of become, like you, as the oldest, become like a second parent. Without really obviously triangulized is what I think they call it. What
does that mean?
you're basically an adult. Like you're in the but at this point you're not in a relationship. Your mom doesn't have anyone else, so it's you and your mom, like mom and dad kind of thing.
Okay.
It was kind of the same thing with me, my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
I knew everything. Like I knew everything about the family. Like I was a third.
Well, you were the
little
other parent.
adult. Yeah, and so you were probably like that too, because even in your vernacular when you just said that, you're like, I would be pissed if Fernando didn't do it, but she had that mentality with you guys as if you were little adults, which no fault of her own.
Yeah.
But you were in a way.
We were. Adults. And I like the triangulation. I would even say like me and Anthony were the little adults.
Okay, because you and Anthony were.
Because we were the oldest,
taking care
right?
of
We were taking
younger.
care of Monse and Carolyn, and they were just little. They were just little at that point. Like Monse was in kindergarten, right? And Carolyn was a baby.
Daycare.
It was just.
Did they understand, or did you guys protect them from a lot of that stuff?
I think we protected them from a lot of it. We were just little, right? Like when you're little, you just don't like. One thing that I realized is like you see stepkids, right? They're like, that's my stepsister, that's my half sister.
Yeah.
They didn't know what that meant.
That wasn't a thing.
That wasn't a thing. Like that was
siblings.
that was my sister and that was my brother and like that was that, right? So like one day I think either Carolyn or Monse got asked like, are they your half sibling? They're like, what is that?
What does that mean?
Yeah. So
because when I met you guys, I did not know that either. I think I made the mistake of being like, who, like asking about your dad.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, you mean dads?
Yeah, plural.
Like, what?
Plural.
Not that it's bad or anything, but you guys all very much act like one.
Yeah, but because I think it's like my mom is our unit, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't. I don't know. I personally don't feel like I missed out on having a dad because my mom's such a strong figure.
She has a strong masculine energy.
She stepped up and she was the dad that I needed.
How do you feel like you understood that? Like I'm just trying to get into your head when you were a teenager, like still being bad but still being very responsible.
Yeah, I was super responsible. Like I would go out, right? She would tell us that we wouldn't be able to go out in the afternoon, but we would still go out. We would just take Carolyn and Monte with us.
You take the baby.
Yeah.
You're like, we're still gonna live life.
Yeah, and like
okay.
my friends were very understanding, right? Like the friends that I had in Chicago, well, specifically in Addison, were super cool. Like they knew that I couldn't hang out without my sisters, so they would come over to our house and like they would help us take care of them and like.
Oh.
I just feel like I just had a super soft spot for my mom, and that's why I didn't want to make her life any harder than it needed to be. But I still wanted to enjoy myself, right? I just felt like sometimes I would feel like Cinderella. Like I felt like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go out anywhere.
Well, and that was my next question. Like, what would you guys do to feel like kids? Like, did you watch a lot of shows? Did you go out into nature?
Like at what point?
When you were basically raising your little siblings.
For us to feel like kids?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's
Do you remember?
tough because
you were already an adult.
I just felt like really responsible. Like there was a big jump from like when we moved to from California to Chicago, where like I feel like that's where I kind of grew up a lot, like very quickly, because I had a lot of responsibility with like my younger siblings, and like being a kid was like, I guess watching movies but not even, right? Like
not really.
Not even like it's crazy because I had all this responsibility, but I would still watch like PBS Kids.
Yeah.
Right? Like I would still want to watch like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and stuff, even though I was taking care of like a baby and a kid.
When do you feel like you got a chance to maybe be a kid? Was it later in life? I
think Fernando came into my life, yeah.
Fernando helped you have fun?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a pivotal time when you kind of...
Yeah. Fernando just gave me more, like... Even his parents, right? Like, made it okay to do things that were normal for a teenager without making a big deal out of it, without being, like, like I knew I was going to get punished. With my mom, I couldn't do things like a teenager would because I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't allowed to go to the movies. I wasn't allowed. If I did, I had to take Anthony with me. Like, it was just...
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So then, and it was mainly just to keep you safe. Like, it wasn't because she didn't trust... Or was it that she didn't trust you guys?
She didn't trust me.
Yeah.
And I think that was the projection, like,
Mm-hmm.
because she was bad as a teenager. I wasn't going to do anything bad, and then because I didn't have the freedom, then I did do something bad.
That's so funny how that works out. You're
Yes.
like, it's taboo, and then you don't talk about it, and yeah, and then you have to experiment, which, I mean,
I had to
that comes with
experiment.
lessons on their own.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's back up, because we brought in Fernando, but then what made her decide, or you as a family decide to come to Southern Utah? Because that's a big jump, too. Was that Mommy Audi here?
Yeah, so Mami Adi was here.
Okay, and she's been here the whole time?
No, she moved here. She lived in Chicago with us too.
Okay.
So we all went from like California to Chicago to Utah.
And Mommy Audi is Steph's grandma.
Yeah, Mami Adi's my grandma.
Yeah.
But she came a few years prior because one of my uncles was here and she wanted to open a salon. And she couldn't do that in Chicago, but she was able to do it here.
Okay.
So,
just like business-wise? Or?
Yeah.
It was a smaller town.
It's more feasible
affordable.
for her to open it here. And we lived in Chicago at the time, and my mom was breaking up with Carolyn's dad.
Okay.
And he was crazy. I'm sorry, Carolyn. He's crazy.
I've heard.
So we had to leave. We had to leave the state.
Physically leave,
yeah. So that's why we ended up coming here, because my grandma was here. And, well, I hated it.
Was that the biggest... and now at that point you're a teenager, right? So you can feel it. You are very much aware.
Yeah. At that point, I was 16.
Mm-hmm. 16 years old. And this is when we were probably like 6 or 7% of the population was Hispanic. Versus Chicago, where there's probably a lot of diversity, right?
Yeah.
So how was that shift for you?
You know, it's funny. I didn't feel like that shift, the minority of being Hispanic, Mexican.
You didn't feel that at the
because
time?
I have a lot of family here. So like I was surrounded by family.
Okay.
So like yes, in school I was like, damn. But
Dang.
here, like when I was outside of school, like I was always around my cousins, I was around my like aunts and uncles. What I felt like the minority on was not being Mormon. That was more of a culture shock to me. Because I didn't even know what a Mormon was.
That's true. You're 16 years old learning about it.
And then the first question people would ask me at the school is like, "Are you LDS?" And I'm like, "I don't do LSD. I don't do that. I don't do drugs."
Actually. And at this point, had you not done drugs?
No.
So you were like,
no. I mean, in Chicago, I tried weed, but nothing crazy, right? It was just recreational.
Yeah. I didn't even think about the Mormonhood or Mormonism.
Yeah.
So then what? Was it just because people would bring it up on their own?
Yeah, and like I feel like when I was trying to make friends at school at Dixie, it would kind of be like a block, right? As soon as people knew that I wasn't Mormon, it was like they didn't really want to try to get to know me and be my friend. Like I said before, right? I didn't have a problem talking to people and like getting to know people, but it felt like when I was sharing that about myself to people, they would kind of shut down and be like, "Oh."
So how quickly did you feel like you were able to navigate that? Did that push you towards, other friends? How did that work?
It definitely pushed me towards other friends. Like I said, I had cousins, so like my cousins were in my same grade, so I was able to hang out with my cousins and my cousins' friends, and it was like, I feel like the Hispanic kids were always like their own little grupito.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out with them and stuff, but I clocked it pretty quickly that Mormons don't really want to hang out with non-Mormons.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's not genuine, because down to it, like, they value a different system. I'm not here to convert them. I'm not here to, change their mind about anything, right? And I would like to be respected.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like I stand on that pretty...
You respect them, too.
Yeah. Like,
mutual respect of...
and if I feel like they're overstepping, I'm like, all right, that's enough.
Right.
If this church is what brings you happiness...
Sure.
By all means, right? Who am I to tell you it's not right?
Amen, sister.
But from an outside perspective, like, it's never appealed to me. It's never been like, oh, I think I want to go try this church. I've tried other churches. I've went to the Christian church. I went to a couple Christian churches here with your sister.
Yeah.
I've learned that religion is, like, very, like, spiritual, right? Whatever you feel called to do or be a part of, that's what you should do.
I love that.
I haven't.
What do you do? That's a great segue. What is your spiritual practice?
I feel like I do believe in a higher power.
Okay.
I do believe in a sense of God, right?
Okay.
and I do believe that God is love, right? And like I feel
Beautiful.
like that's where my spiritual like values lie.
Yeah.
Is that everything is based in love, right? And
Okay.
that's why it's hard for me to go to churches sometimes, because sometimes at churches people are a little judgmental, and that doesn't come from a place of love, right? That doesn't come.
It's not even the same frequency.
No. So sometimes I feel, like I said, I don't feel tied to any religion. I do feel tied to like the feeling of love and like presence and whatever that feels, right? Sometimes that translates differently. Sometimes it's through meditation. Sometimes it's through like, now like I feel God with like my baby. Like,
oh
yeah.
What a quote. We're gonna make that into a quote.
I feel like I feel a love that I've never felt before.
Wow.
And I feel like that's how God must have felt when he created humans.
Us. Well, that's the ultimate connection to source, right? At least I feel like
I
if
think
you
so.
believe in love, like comes from love. He comes from you and Fernando's love, and you and humanity's love, and
and just his innocence, right? Like,
so did he confirm almost all that for you? Not that you needed a confirmation.
He definitely made it known stronger. Like I feel more confident in like my beliefs and like how I want to raise him.
What kind of spiritual practices will you raise him with? Or what kind of feeling do you want him to experience with that? Because we grew up very different.
So I grew up going with my grandma to the Christian church.
Oh, okay.
And with my mom, the Catholic church.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference.
So we went to different churches, and like, I think she was a Jehovah's Witness. Don't quote me though. I don't know.
Mommy
exactly.
Ali?
No. My grandma from my dad's side.
Oh, okay.
One time with Mommy Ali, we went to a church in Chicago. And it was like a praise, it was like a black
Baptist
church. Yeah.
Baptist church?
So we went in there, and I was looking around, and I was like, Miadi, I don't think this is a Catholic church.
Did she think it was?
Yeah, she thought it was. And we stayed, right? We were in there, we were praising.
I mean, I've seen some clips, and they look like
they get down.
Feel it.
They get
like
down.
In their
I loved
souls.
it. I actually loved it.
If it's love, if God is love, you can feel that anywhere in any religion. If you know. Or
Through music, I feel like you could feel
I
it.
know, because you guys love music. You and Fernando, did you bond over music, or did you and Fernando discover EDM and stuff?
No. So me and Fernando bonded over a song. Like
from the get-go. Like,
so he was in my cooking class, and he was sitting next to me, and I was listening to my iPod. My iPod at the time, a dinosaur, a relic now.
Oh my, are we becoming those people?
Yep.
Back in my day, when I had an iPod.
Anyway, I was playing the song, it was by Afrojack, the Take Over Control. And I had my headphone in, and he's like, you like Afrojack? And I said, yeah. And he's like, I like Afrojack too. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Don't fucking look at my iPod.
Yeah, I do.
And then we would like start talking, and we were just friends, right? We were literally just friends, and like, I could tell that he liked me, but I wasn't really.
You friend zoned him?
Yeah, well, I didn't see. At first, I wasn't allowed to date. You know, my mom
true.
made it really hard for me to hang out outside of school with anybody.
Wait, what made you think that Fernando had a crush on you? Because I just can picture little Fernando, like, big cheesing.
Well, yeah, just like, he would always try to talk to me, and like, he put his phone number into my phone.
Oh, dang, that's some game.
And yeah, and I actually did text him afterwards. I was like, when did you put your number in?
Ew.
Yeah. And then from there, we just kind of kept talking. But I was seeing somebody else, and he was kind of talking to he was actually dating somebody else, and I was talking to somebody else. And no official boyfriends ever.
Okay.
And then like, our friendship started blossoming more. And I remember one time, it was like Valentine's Day, and he had the date plan with the girl, and I was friends with the girl.
Uh-huh. Oh, you knew her.
And I was in the back seat. And yeah.
Of their date?
And she gave him like a Valentine's Day like chocolate box.
He just said, do you want to come hang out with me and my girl?
I don't remember how, because we were just friends. Me and Fernando were just friends in the beginning.
I bet that girl was like, that ain't
We
your
were
friend.
So then afterwards, that girl was really upset when we got together. And
can we blame her? No.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't hear me chew.
Yeah. It's an ASMR. It's good for the good for the content.
There you go.
All of a sudden we go viral, but not for the content.
Not for the right reason.
For the, for the munching. So you basically were a mom to your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I love that it was a good time frame. One, that you were together,
Mm-hmm.
and then two, that you were into your adulthood. Like, you're 30
Yeah.
and was having your first baby. Was that a conscious decision, or did it just happen?
It happened subconsciously, actually.
Really?
Like, in my head, I always thought, let me just enjoy my 20s. Let me, like, live with Fernando throughout my 20s. So when Fernando turned 30, we had the conversation of, like, okay, like, next year I'm turning 30. Like, then we can start having babies.
Oh, smart.
So it just kind of sped up a little bit, right? We just had him I got pregnant at 29, which he did come at me already being 30, like a month after.
You manifested it.
Mm-hmm. It worked out perfectly, right? Because me and Fernando had been together since I was 17 and he was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's, 12, 13 years of, like, building our bond and, like, getting really set in a foundation of how we are in relationship to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, our strong suits and what he's good at, what I'm good at, because he knows everything about me, right? And
Yeah.
he knows how to deal with things that I suck with.
Like what? What's something that balances you out?
I can go into the kitchen and I look for something, and I'm looking in the fridge, I'm looking in cabinets, and for whatever reason, I leave the fridge open and I leave the cabinets open. And
I know the reason.
And he comes behind me and he's closing everything. And
it's ADHD.
Same thing in the bathroom. In the bathroom, I'll go in and I'm, like, brushing my teeth, and I'll leave the door open, and I don't even think about it, right? Like, we've gone over this for years, and I just do it, and I don't know how to consciously stop doing it. So I just accepted it. I'm like, whatever. And he accepted it too. Like, he just goes in there and he closes all the doors after me.
He knows the role.
Mm-hmm. He just says that I get home and I'm like a little tornado. Like, I leave my shoes, I leave my purse, I leave my jacket, whatever. And then he comes and
cleans up
he's
after
just
you.
a little more OCD. My ADHD balances his OCD really well.
Well, that's a great segue, because I was curious, like, when did you get your diagnosis?
Like 2021 or 2020.
COVID
Around
time.
like COVID time, yeah.
Okay. What prompted you to go in and actually ask?
Because my mom went and her doctor diagnosed her and suggested that all of us also get tested. But I went to the doctor and I was stressed, right? I was like, because I kind of knew that I was, and I knew that getting on medication could help. Because I had tried it in college, and beautiful, right? I was writing my
Leveled
papers.
You out.
Oh, I was crying every night because I was struggling so much with, like, college, just school and writing papers and, like, just focusing. So I kind of knew that I had it, but I didn't want to accept it because I didn't want to get on medication. So when I went to the doctor, they have you fill out the questionnaire and you talk to the doctor. I literally didn't even have to, like, make anything up. I just told him my daily life. And he's like, okay, like, we don't even need to go through the full diagnosis. Like, you're definitely ADHD. I said,
and with
okay.
your mom having a positive
Yeah.
one,
So it was easy. And he started me off pretty strong, like at 20 milligrams.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
To start, well,
To
my
start.
doctor started me pretty high too.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like that's really high because some people start at 5 milligrams,
Right.
15 milligrams, 10 milligrams. And then we ended, like, by the time I got off of medication, we ended at, like, 45 milligrams.
Yeah. What made you decide to stop?
Because I didn't feel like myself. Like, I felt I was efficient. I was getting work done.
Mm-hmm.
I was focused, right? I was zoned into what I was doing. But I felt like a robot. Like, I felt like the creativity part of my brain was, like, numbed out. Like, I couldn't come up with new ideas like I normally would. I could just get stuff done really well.
Right.
And I felt like I was almost, like, really snappy with Fernando. Like, I normally am
like
really...
short.
Just short. Yeah, like, I just was, like... just kind of mean to him. And for no reason, right? It was, like, basic, like, are you hungry? And I'm like, don't you see I'm busy right now?
Can't you see I'm doing 10 items
Literally.
right now?
And, like...
At the same time.
It's not his fault, right?
Yeah.
That I overbooked myself. But... I think I just needed to stop because I needed to feel like myself again. I needed to feel like I was able to do the whole, chunk of my life without medication.
Right.
What's the difference now, right?
Well, when you got off of medication, did you have like a routine that helped? Because you kind of adapt.
I was trying different things. So
Yeah.
I was trying just like a planner, writing stuff out. I was trying apps, right, to help me like stay more organized.
Yeah.
I was trying meditation to help me focus. I was trying microdosing to help me like I was a replacement. Nothing works the same.
Yeah.
Like nothing replaces what Adderall does. And I'd rather just stop trying to replace Adderall and just find a better way.
Yeah.
Than trying to replace that feeling. Because that feeling,
yeah.
I'm like, why am I trying to replace Adderall if I don't even like the way Adderall makes me feel?
Like it's going to be a totally different.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a new experience altogether. Like
and with baby.
And with baby, yeah. And I don't want to be a robot with baby. I like singing ABCs to him all day.
Over and over on repeat.
It's fine. He's gonna learn them one way or another.
Okay, let's talk about soul. But I really want to talk about fitness and how you got, because that also segues really nicely, because ADHD, I feel like it almost forces you to work for yourself. And maybe I'm projecting, because that's what I wasn't happy until I started working for myself in a way. But also it comes with its challenges. So what was a transition into soul fitness and going to work on your own and being an entrepreneur?
So before Soul Fitness, I was a pharma rep.
Yes.
So I would sell medication to pharmacies and hospitals and blah, blah, blah.
You were a drug dealer.
Essentially. A glorified drug dealer.
A legal one.
And like I was good at my job. I was good at like selling. I just didn't feel, it got to a point where like I was working with all men, and they're just bulldogs, right? Like they're very cutthroat, very like, this is the bottom line, sell it as high as possible. And I kind of got to a point where I'm like, dude, I kind of don't feel comfortable like selling heart medication for $1,000 a bottle, right? Like, morally, I don't know, it was very conflicting internally, and especially because I was getting into my fitness journey at the time, and like I was on the preventative
treatments,
right? Like I just like,
that's fair.
You don't need to. I'm not anti-medication, right? Medication has its place,
purpose,
right? And there can be good that comes out of it, but I am against like keeping people like
stuck
and not really helping them find a solution, just helping them stay here, right? And that means it's a good thing for the insurance, it's a good thing for wholesalers, because then you have a steady supply of medication coming in every month. So that's where my eyes started being a little bit more open. I started being more aware. I started being open to the idea of becoming a personal trainer, because I was at the gym one day and a lady just came up to me and she said, "¿Me puedes entrenar?"
Ooh.
And I was like,
oh, I know somebody in the community. I was wow.
And I was like, no soy entrenadora, no me van a dejar. And she was like, it's okay, like de todos modos, solo quiero que me enseñes cómo hacer ejercicios para verme como tú. And I was like, okay.
That was your first client?
That was technically my first client. Norma.
What was her name?
Shout out Norma.
Norma! She kickstarted your career.
Yeah, so she just kind of gave me that alternative, right? Because I was like, this is a really good job. Like, I'd be dumb to let it go. But Norma opened my eyes to another possibility.
Why did you feel dumb? You've said that now twice. What made you think you'd be dumb to not
Because growing up with like my mom and my grandma and stuff, they would tell me like, you need to get a good job that gives you good health insurance, that has steady hours, that you get salary, blah blah blah, like all the things, right, that a corporate job would provide for me. But I did it and I hated it. I hated it. I hated going in at a certain time. I hated being done at a certain time. I feel like I work more now, like
more than you would at a 9 to 5.
At a 9 to 5.
But
I
it was like a dream almost, like for them.
Yeah. And I realized that I needed to let that dream go because it wasn't fulfilling me. Right? It wasn't what I wanted to do. And I'm like, I think I wouldn't have done that without Fernando like pushing me
to go inward,
to
really.
to just be like, are you going to be happy doing this? Not, are you going to be successful doing this? Are you going to be, are you going to make good money doing this? He asked me, are you going to be happy doing this?
Right.
And I was like, no.
Which is a different gauge of success, right?
It is.
Because to your parents, that may have been success. Even if you were unhappy, if you're making really good money and have all those things, then you'd be successful versus, being happy. It's like, okay, well, maybe I don't want to, or maybe,
this
maybe
is
the
a different
happiness
definition of happiness.
Yeah.
And I think for maybe like my mom's generation, your parents' generation, it's not measured like that.
Well, it's almost like a luxury, I feel like sometimes, now that I look back at it. Our parents didn't
only
really
because they had to.
Right. They didn't
it's a
have the
different
chance
time
to think what will make me happy because I have bills, I have my kids, I have, which obviously you do too, but at the time you didn't, right?
At the time I didn't. So I had the luxury of being able to be like, this is not going to make me happy.
And Fernando, even though he's also first generation Mexican American, right? He grew up differently, and so he gave you permission in a way. Obviously, he's not going to give you permission, but
no, but he did.
It's
like
real.
He made me realize that there are other options,
right,
besides what's expected out of me.
Oh,
and that was crazy.
Well, and I feel like you apply what you learn in sales, right? Like,
I will give, like, my old boss, I'll give him, he taught me a lot.
Yeah.
He taught me a shit ton about sales and about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And about just being a valuable person in this world, right? He said, never chase the money. He's like, you provide value in some way and the money will follow.
Yeah. Wow.
And he was right.
So basically you used his advice
to do my own thing,
to do your own thing.
Yeah.
Does he know that?
I think so. So I actually met him because I used to be his babysitter for his kids.
The nanny.
So from when I was 16 to 22, I was their nanny. And then he started this new company as a wholesale person in the pharmaceutical world. And he asked if I wanted to be like a receptionist / like kind of
front
sales, but there was no office. It was just kind of answering phones and stuff. And then from there I went to sales because there was just nobody. It was just me and him and like the warehouse team.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So then afterwards, like, I just spent a lot of time learning from him and his wife. Like everything that I've learned, like also about family that I didn't learn with my mom, I learned from them. He was a really good boss up until a certain point.
Yeah.
And then when that point was reached, I realized it was my time to go from the company. So then that's when I joined Fernando in Oklahoma. I wasn't working, so I just didn't work for a couple months.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need to do something. Like, what can I do? And I remembered the lady, and I signed up for my NASM certification. So while I was in Oklahoma, I started working on that certification. So then I came back, and that's when I started taking some clients, and then that's when you and Emily reached out too.
Both of us separately.
At the same time, but separately, which is crazy.
Because I didn't follow you at the time.
No, which I don't even know how you found me.
Well, the algorithm was algorithming because I realized that you were opening yourself up for that. And
I wasn't even pushing it as hard then.
You promoted it though. I think you posted something about it.
I don't remember, but at the time, do you remember I didn't even have a gym? Like we were just working
out
outside.
We'd go to other certain gyms.
Just the park.
Well, before you go,
okay,
I have a gift for you. Because you're the first guest on Hermanas. Show the world.
First Hermanas. Oh, yes.
Hang it up or put it in your office.
Dude, how exciting. I'm so excited to be, you guys, I'm so excited to be a part of the podcast and to be experiencing you and your project and how you're going to grow this. Because you don't understand.
Fingers crossed.
You don't understand. You guys don't understand. This has been in the works for a long time.
Yeah.
Wow,
it really has.
You're so...
It's a whole thing. Thank you for coming.